Hurry into JCPenney for back to school to shop and give. For every pair of Arizona jeans purchased now through 9/2, we'll donate $1 to help kids succeed through the WISE academic achievement programs. And rush in today for our biggest sale of the season, where our entire store is on sale 4 days only. Right now, get $10 off when you spend $25 or more with coupon on select items. That's getting your pennies worth. JCPenney. Valid 7/27 to 7/30. Some exclusions apply. Season refers to 6/8 to 7/30. Check jcp.com or your newspaper for coupon and details. Excludes Sephora, Nike, and Converse. Donation up to $250,000.
Blog Talk Radio. Writing your book is the easy part. Promoting your book so readers can find and purchase it is the hard part. Welcome to the Author Chat Show, hosted by author-publisher Lynda D. Brown. Follow us at www.facebook.com/authorchat. And to contact the show to promote your book, contact me at theauthorchatshow@gmail.com. Stay tuned and listen to today's show.
Good morning, and welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Author Chat Show. My name is Lynda D. Brown. My guest today is author Michele P.W. Michele is returning to today's show, to discuss her book, Based Copywriting Systems. And for those of you that are listeners to the show on a regular basis, you might remember Michele was on the show a couple months back. And I invited her to come on to talk about copywriting because we know that this is still a very lucrative field and that there are so many people still interested in how to get into this business, especially those that like to write, which, of course, are authors. So I thought it would be a perfect fit. Now, we're going to be right back to chat with Michele about her book after a word from today's sponsor.
PrimeStar Publicity and Public Relations is a full-service firm ready to fill the needs of their clients. Owner Helen Cook has more than 32 years of publicity, public relations, advertising, and marketing experience, and she focuses her professional talents on working with her clients' strengths to create customized, strategic campaigns, whether their needs are great or small. Radio, TV, print, internet, publicity, marketing, creating a social media presence, branding, client positioning, author tours, speaking events. These are just some of the services PrimeStar provides for their clients. For a complete list of services and other information about the company, please visit our website, www.primestarpublicity.com, or email Helen at helen.cook@primestarpublicity.com, or phone 903-654-0938. PrimeStar's home office is located in the Houston, Texas area.
All right, welcome back to the show. For those of you just tuning in, today's guest is author Michele P.W. Michele is returning to the show to discuss her book, Based Copywriting. Michele, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you so much for honoring us by coming back. Like I said, I think what you wrote, how to learn. Based Copywriting System. I think I put an S on it. There are still a lot of people very attracted to this particular field of copywriting, and for those that are not familiar with what copywriting is, we're going to get into all of that. But before we get started, since this is Michele's second appearance on the show, for those of you that might have missed her on before, why don't we get started by you telling us a little bit about yourself, Michele?
Sure. So I am. What I do is I am an author, and then I also write director. I also own a direct response copywriting and marketing company. So I do both things. And one of the things that I realized, direct response copy. Actually, this will be more. We'll talk about this more later. But it is about writing promotional materials, but it's also really about leverage, because when you can actually write the copy that gets people to buy your books, without you actually going out and begging or handing them out or whatever. That's how you actually can start to get your work out there in the world in a bigger way. So it's really about leverage and leveraging your marketing, you're leveraging your time and your marketing dollars. But the thing is a lot of people don't like the way direct response copy feels. That it feels hypey and salesy. So that's why I came out with this whole sort of love-based copywriting philosophy and really teach that about how to do that.
Exactly. And we have Michelle's website on our Author Chat Facebook page. As you you click on that and you listen to or read the information about the show, or while you're listening to the interview, and you offer, and I think this is so great, a copy of a business kit. Tell us about your free love-based business kit.
Oh, yeah. So the love-based business kit, it's really, really what you should be looking at. If you are an author, you are building a business. So right. I realize, you might think of yourself as a writer, an author, a novelist, that you're writing books. But honestly, this is you have a business, and your business is writing and selling books. So to me, it's like, so I have this whole love-based business kit, and the idea around it is so that you can actually build a business you love and that loves you back. So
right.
What this means is that, and so I've got a few tools in there, and they're totally free to help you actually move towards, you actually start thinking of yourself as an entrepreneur as well as an author. And then you also have the tools to really start building the right business model for you, so you really love what you're doing.
Exactly. And actually, Michele, while you were chatting, I actually went to your website and actually signed up to start receiving your information and your free business kit, because, and thank you so much for saying that. This is something that I try to emphasize on the show on a regular basis. We are authors, yes, but we're also entrepreneurs or business owners. So you have to learn how to, you might not like that aspect of the business, but it's extremely important that you get that information out about your book, or how else is anybody going to find you, correct?
Exactly. That's exactly it. I mean, this is a business. I mean, if you want to actually make money selling your books, then you're in a business. If you just want to write books and just write whatever you want to write, and you don't care if you actually sell any or make any money, then yes, then you don't have to think about it as a business. But if you actually want to make money and even like support yourself, this is a business.
Exactly. And like she said, if you're just doing it, and unfortunately I know a lot of people that have contacted me and that I've worked with that were, I want to write a book. But you know what? They're really not passionate about it. I think it's just like, you know what? I see now that more and more people are, publishing their own books. Why don't I take a shot at it? But if it's not that serious, then it's just a hobby.
Yes.
But like Michele said, exactly. But if you really want to make this work, you really have to learn how to get out there and market your book. This is one of the reasons why I came up with this particular show, so that I can assist you in getting the word out about your book. And Michele, if you don't mind, I'd like to actually take this opportunity to explain to listeners that one of the reasons, actually the main reason why I actually do this interview really is not to, just grab a lot of people to listen to your interview as we're actually doing it live, but it becomes a part of your electronic media kit, which is so very important as an author. So that way, when you start submitting your information out there, they can also hear you, the passion that you have when you talk about your own book. I hear the passion that you have, Michele, for copywriting when I hear you talk about your book, and that is so very important, so important. Now, as an author, tell us exactly how you use copywriting to sell your book, just to make it clear for those that might not quite get the concept.
Yes. So, so first off, you need to actually have a decent book blurb. I think that's probably the most important. And it doesn't matter if you're writing fiction either. So if this is fiction, if this is nonfiction, whatever it is, you need to actually be able to communicate the story in a very succinct manner. You know, like in some cases, you probably need a 100-word or less blurb for some places where you can promote. And I know you spent, a lot, months, years writing this, 300-page book and 300-page story, and it's very important to actually be able to know what to actually take out that in order to get people to pique their interest so they actually read more. So you need a variety of different promotional descriptions for your book. In addition to that, it's like what you said, like having it on your website. And I think building your own email list of your own readers, all of this, knowing how to write direct response copy is really important when you want to promote your books or when you want to whatever you want to do. Having the skill is just invaluable.
Exactly. And Michele, talk to my audience about the importance of using copywriting with social media, because a lot of people think that because of social media, which is basically free to just kind of announce your book, promote your book, but there is a different way that you actually have to approach it if you want to be successful. Tell us about the best way to use copywriting, the information that the copywriting information that you have about your product or service, and how to use that best on the internet. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So obviously, putting together, on your website, if you want to sell other, using copy or basically anything that you want to do, if you want to, get readers to give you their name and email address, you actually need to understand direct copy. If you want to sell any kind of higher end program, I realize this doesn't happen as much for fiction authors, but actually, if you decide that you want to teach a course for other fiction writers on how to write a novel, you need to actually know how to write like a decent sales letter and go through the whole sales stuff in order to get people to sign up. Or if you're offering PR opportunity, there's other things you might be interested in helping other writers, being able to deepen. And deepen kind of like all the things that all the ways you can make money rather than just book sales. So, and then if you're nonfiction, obviously being able to, you can actually take your nonfiction and bring it into like a bigger program. Like I have that with my copywriting books. I actually have a deeper copywriting program if people want to take it a step further. So there's a lot of ways that you can take your books and make money on them. And if you know direct response copy, then you open up a lot of opportunities for yourself to be able to make money that way off of your books, your knowledge, your expertise, instead of you having to go get another job or something and make if you need to make more income, make more money that way.
Now, Michele, as an author, and I'm sure this is true for a lot of my listening audience, since we tend to get our names out there as we promote our book, we attract people that are interested in wondering if we're interested in becoming a copywriter and how to go about doing that. So that, we're all getting sales pitches from these type of companies, which really is one of the reasons why I wanted you to come on the show. Explain to my listening audience why going with your book would be better than just responding to some of this correspondence that we've been receiving basically from people that we don't even know.
Yeah. So being able to, first off, the two books I have two love-based copywriting books. The first one is about the philosophy, and the second one is about the system, which is more of a how-to book. The system book is really like nuts and bolts. It's really a copywriting book in the course in the book. So absolutely, as a writer, that's another thing you can do. In fact, that's what I did was to kind of support to support, have an income stream for me while I was writing my books, is that I actually wrote copy for other businesses and companies. So that is a very lucrative way to make money and as a writer. And then
Absolutely.
also, yeah, and part of this is that learning the whole love-based copywriting method. I mean, yeah, there are a lot of other copywriting books out there, but mine are totally different, because basically traditional direct response copy, the reason why it feels so kind of icky and yucky and salesy to a lot of you, and I know you've all run into it, it's because it taps into fear-based emotions. So in order for you to, in order for anyone to convince anyone to do anything, whether it's getting your kids to go to bed at night, it doesn't even have to be buying something, you have to tap into emotions. And you have a choice. You can tap into fear-based emotions, which are fear, anger, grief, shame, guilt, all of that, or you can tap into love-based emotions, which of course are love, peace, joy, connections, and all that other stuff. So that's really what it is, and you can do both. I mean, you can do either. It's just your choice on how you want to, market your own business, how you want to, what you want to stand for too for your clients. If you choose to go the route to write copy that way, to become a freelancer.
Exactly. Now tell us, Michele, because like you said, now how did you get started? I mean, we know that you're an author. Is that how you got started as a copywriter, by coming up with brilliant ways to market your book, or did you kind of do the copywriting first and the book became a second part of what you were doing?
So actually, I taught myself to read at 3 years old because I wanted to write stories so bad. So I've been a writer my entire life. When I was a teenager, I was trying to figure out what to do to make money as a writer while I wrote my books, and everybody told me to be a journalist, and I said that's absolutely the last thing I want to be. So it was in my 20s. I kept casting around for things to do, and finally in my 20s, I sort of discovered this whole wide world of copywriting. So I started freelance copywriting. I got jobs in this, and I realized I had a knack for marketing and copy. And then so that's how I kind of started. And I ended up freelancing so that I could do both. I could carve the space to write my books as well as have clients. And quite honestly, I didn't do terribly well with a boss anyway, so I was better off. I was better off creating my own.
Awesome. And I remember from the first appearance that you had on the show that you did indeed mention that you started reading at 3 because she was so excited about learning, because she was so excited. She wanted to write so badly that she taught herself how to read at 3. That is so mind-boggling to me. Wow. Because and Michele, the first book that we actually had you on the show was for your love-based online marketing book. Is that correct?
That is correct. That is the third in the series, and yes, that's because I'm kind of continuing the whole love base. Because you want to build your business on love, then that's the series is coming in.
I love that because, like you said, aren't we dealing with all the craziness that's going on in this world? Why deal with something based on hate or fear?
Yes.
Base it on love. You will attract more people that way, I promise you. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to hear Michele read from her book. And again, the title of the book that we're discussing today, and I do apologize, I didn't realize it was a 1 and 2, so I'll definitely make sure that we post both on the website. Her Love-Based Copywriting System, books 1 and 2, actually. So we'll be right back with Michele reading an excerpt from her book after a word from today's sponsor.
PrimeStar Publicity and Public Relations is a full-service firm ready to fill the needs of their clients. Owner Helen Cook has more than 32 years of publicity, public relations, advertising, and marketing experience, and she focuses her professional talents on working with her clients' strengths to create customized, strategic campaigns, whether their needs are great or small. Radio, TV, print, internet, publicity, marketing, creating a social media presence, branding, client positioning, author tours, speaking events. These are just some of the services PrimeStar provides for their clients. For a complete list of services and other information about the company, please visit our website, www.primestarpublicity.com, or email Helen at helen.cook@primestarpublicity.com, or phone 903-654-0938. PrimeStar's home office is located in the Houston, Texas area.
All right. We are back with author Michele P.W., and Michele is going to read us an excerpt from her book, Based Copywriting Systems. And this is actually book 2. Is that correct that you're going to be reading from,
yes.
Volume 2?
Yes,
Awesome.
This is volume.
Okay,
the volume is called Based Copywriting Method, the philosophy behind writing copy that attracts, inspires, and invites. And then this is Based Copywriting System, a step-by-step process to master writing copy that attracts, inspires, and invites.
Perfect. That's definitely the one we want to have you read, because we definitely want to talk about that. So tell us what page and what chapter you're going to be reading from.
So I'm going to read from Chapter 2, Facing the Blank Page, which is page 21.
Okay.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready. Mm-hmm.
So one of the questions I'm always asked in my copywriting courses is, how do you actually get started, especially if you're suffering from a bad case of writer's block? This is so important because even if you're not experiencing writer's block right now, it's bound to happen at some point. And since I don't want you to get stuck, following are some tips for setting yourself up for writing success. Now, these may not completely eliminate writer's block, but hopefully they'll help minimize the times it rears its ugly head. The night before, make a point of reviewing all of your research, including your ideal client, their pain points, etc. If you're comfortable with a bit of woo-woo, you may want to ask your muse or subconscious to help out while you sleep so you wake up inspired. Create a writing ritual. A lot of professional writers have a ritual around their writing time. For instance, I select and light a candle, then select and play music, plus I may also do some meditating and journaling before I begin. Other writers will do something physical before they sit down to work, like dance or even walk around the block. Check out the companion workbook for more ideas on creating a writing ritual. It's really open to what you want to do. I would just encourage you to make it fun. Part of why it works is because rituals help prepare your mind to get ready for whatever you're doing. So as you go through the ritual, your mind knows you're going to sit down and write, so it can start to prepare itself. Then when you finally sit down, the words start to flow. Love-based reminder. You could also do some of the mindset exercises from Chapter 1 to help you move into love and abundance, so you're in the right frame of mind when you're actually ready to write your copy. Create an outline. I thought about putting this in the last chapter, and it very well could belong there too. For me, I like to use outlines as a way to prepare myself to start writing. By creating the outline, I'm actually getting my creative juices flowing, so it's easier to write. Also, I create outlines at different times. Sometimes I do it first thing. It's easier to create an outline than it is to start writing, so that can be my warm-up to writing. Sometimes I do it in the middle of a writing session if it inspires a brainstorm, and sometimes I do it at the end of a session to get prepared for the next day. If that works for you to be more creative in your use of outlines, go crazy. But if it's better for you to do it during your writing preparation time, then just do it then. Either way, don't skip this step. It'll save you from losing your focus as you write as well. Just start writing, even if it's nonsense. Sometimes people have a lot of trouble looking at a blank screen, so it helps to just start typing, even if you type, "I don't know what to say," over and over. Eventually, your brain will kick in and you'll start writing. You can also end your writing session in the middle of a sentence or a paragraph deliberately, so you have an easy prompt to get you started the next day. Set a timer for 12 minutes and tell yourself you're going to write no matter what for the next 12 minutes, and then you're done for the day. Why 12 minutes? Well, apparently there's something that happens in our brain after we do something for 11 or 12 minutes, at which point we'll suddenly find ourselves wanting to do it. For instance, exercise. Don't feel like exercise? Tell yourself you'll take a walk for 12 minutes and call it a day. 9 times out of 10, you'll discover you're actually okay exercising and you want to keep going. The one time you don't feel like continuing, stop, just like you said you were going to. Worst case scenario, you'll have 12 minutes of writing done on your project. Best case scenario, you'll get yourself in the flow and you'll have a really productive writing session.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much, Michele. Excuse me. That was absolutely brilliant, and I jotted down a couple of things that I like to ask you about as you were reading from your book. And the first thing that I'd like to talk about, because now I want to kind of talk about this as a business. So there are a lot of, now here's what I love. I love what you said, and I hate to say it, I didn't even think about this. I don't know why I didn't, because I do it on the side a little bit for authors. This is, if I was interested, so I'm not Lynda, I'm just a normal person, maybe an author, first-time book, and I want to make a living from writing. I don't want to go out and get a job. I just want to stay at home, work on the books that I have, and then find another writing field that will allow me to have income coming in. So my first question to you is, how lucrative is copywriting as a business?
Oh, it's actually copywriters are actually the second highest paid writers. I mean, the highest are obviously, the real high paid fiction authors who get the movie deals and all that. But there are copywriters, because if you can actually get really good at direct response copy, you can actually get percentages of what your clients sell. So you can actually work it out. Wow. So not only you paid a higher hourly, actually most high-end copywriters are paid by the project; they're not paid by the hour anyway. But then you can also even add on a royalty for what your copy actually helps your client sell. Now there's a trick to that. So, I mean, it's not as easy as that. But, yes, you can actually, copywriting, that's one of the reasons why I kind of went there, because copywriting can be far more lucrative, writing articles, magazine writing, and all this other kind of stuff that you might think of.
Exactly. And that actually leads me right into my second question. As a copywriter, which of the do you prefer? Having a client that's looking for a lengthy sales letter, and you guys know what I'm talking about. You get something in the mail promoting something, and it's like a page and a half or maybe 2 pages long, or one of those short, like classified ads, something that's only going to take a couple minutes. Which do you actually prefer to work with, Michele?
It's easier for me to write the longer stuff, so I tend to write. My company tends to talk about like emails, opt-in pages, those sales letters. Sales letters are what you're writing, and you're scrolling down forever looking for the price and wondering, does anybody read this? And yes, they do. But that's really the stuff that I do.
Exactly. And have you had a chance to expand the copywriting business into, again, using social media, like a landing page? Say, for instance, if I was interested in a landing page for my next book, and I want to do a whole Facebook page just dedicated to that. Is that something I can come to you as a client and request that you do for me?
Oh, yes. So that's definitely stuff that we do for people as well. So if this is something where you'd rather just focus on your writing and not do your marketing, that's another way to look at it as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. So with that being said, tell our listening audience how they can connect with you online, and possibly, because, again, one of the reasons why I wanted to do this show is definitely for the authors that are having some problems trying to market their book, maybe not quite sure how what words they need to put together to really get the readers in there. So tell us, what is, as a business consultant, what could you do for me to help me take my book to the next level?
So one of the things is that I would definitely want to look at your website, all the stuff that you're doing in terms of once you're connecting with readers, are you actually getting their name and email address? Because, quite honestly, they may love your book, but if you only have one book out there, they may forget who you are. So then, So having that kind of like that back end, like how they can get in touch with you, obviously taking a look at your book blurb and all of those other pieces. If there's a way to also, and then in terms of the business part, is there a way to actually take your book and turn it into something bigger? So because if you sell more like a program, an info product, a program, a course, you can charge more. Which then, of course, makes it easier to actually, beef up that income stream. I mean, I love books. Books are great because you can reach a mass market, but you're making a very low royalty.
Exactly.
And so, but with an info product, you can sell info products for $100, $200, $400, even $1,000 or more. And obviously, you need just a few sales of that compared to books and compared to royalties on books in order to start to really see a difference.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, Michele, believe it or not, great conversation. Why? Because our time is already up today, and it's like, it's already time? You have a fabulous website. Now, did you design this, or did you have someone do this? It is just fabulous, guys. You got to go to this website.
Well, thank you. Actually, that was I do have a designer that helped. No, I'm not a designer. So that actually was not me. But thank you.
So, as you just heard Michele say, in a very kind way, stay in your lane. If you are an author, don't try to, you know what I'm saying? And we do tend to. I do it myself. Michele, I'm so overwhelmed with all the stuff I'm trying to do myself. It's just crazy. So I am thinking about ways to cut back so that I can really focus on not only my show but my books as well. I have actually a ministry that I do with my books. And I'm online with my books, and it's like not enough hours in the day. So I like I said, I just signed up for your free Love-Based Biz Toolkit, and you can find that by going to www.michelepw.com/ it's under actually services, but I think it's right on the home page. And Michele, for those that maybe missed it the first time, what does the PW stand for?
Oh, Parisa Wasek. So that's my last. It's my maiden name and and then my husband's name. So yes, I decided to just be known as PW.
Quite a mouthful. So I absolutely love the Michele P.W. It is just fantastic. Well, Michele, believe it or not, like I mentioned, our time is up for today. I can't begin to tell you how much I appreciated you coming on the show. I'm going to take a couple of the things on your website, like I see some great videos that you have here. Check them out and go ahead and help promote those for you as well. Because, again, this is something, guys, as authors, you should really look into. I don't know about you, but I'm always getting offers from companies that want to have me pay them to learn how to do copywriting, when you can just go right to Amazon or right to Michele's website or Barnes & Noble, get a copy of her book. And since you've listened to Michele, you've heard her talk about, you hear the passion in her voice, if you are interested in finding out more about turning your copywriting into a business, this is the person that I like for you to talk to, as opposed to somebody sending you a letter that you know nothing about. So thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, anytime. Before I let you go, any last words of advice for my listening audience?
So, be patient with yourself wherever you're at. So I always like to end with something like that, because I think we all get a little impatient, like, why are my books not selling? Why am I not where I'm supposed to be? So, just know that, it happens to all of us, and just, wherever you are, it's perfect. And just keep moving forward. I mean, the thing to not do is to stop moving forward. So just as long as you're moving forward and continuing to get better, that's exactly where you're supposed to be.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for that, Michele. And I do look forward to having you come back on. So just let me know the next time you've got a book out and you'd like to come on the show and promote it. It's on the house. I do appreciate what you did for us today. And I'm serious. So I'll be looking forward to that ebook or the PDF file that you're sending on from your Love-Based Copywriting Kit that she has on her website. Because I think this is something that I might need to do, because I'm tired of. I still work a full-time job, and it's just crazy. I'm just too busy. Yeah, so this allows you to actually work from home and to really concentrate on what you love. It's your love-based business. Exactly. Well, thanks so much again for coming on, and I really want you to enjoy the rest of your Wednesday day. I hope it's a blessed day for you, Michele.
Thank you so much. You too. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, sweetheart. Bye-bye. Okay, that was author Michele P.W. Michele is, again, the author of the book, Based Copywriting Systems. And as she mentioned, and I will make sure that I put this on our website, the book is actually part of, it's a series. So the book is actually, the one that we're talking about is actually volume 2, but it also has a volume 1, the love-based copywriting method. And like she mentioned, this kind of gives you the philosophy behind writing copy that attracts, inspires, and invites, and that's actually what she has on her book. And the love-based copywriting system is a step-by-step process to master writing, copy that attracts and inspires and invites. So we're going to make sure that we post all this information along with her website and her videos on our Author Chat Facebook page. Well, that's our show for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, it's just been great to bring some great information to my listening audience. I really hope that this has been something that you'll be able to use in your own business, as authors are, and we didn't get a chance to talk about this, even small business owners that have something, a product or service other than a book. Copywriting, you got to learn how to put the words together so that people will want to go to your website to check out whatever you're offering. So you really have to make sure that you get this down. So thank you again for tuning in. That's our show for today, and we'll catch you back here this weekend on the Author Chat Show. Bye-bye.
Fashion emergency hotline.
Help! My mom doesn't think I need to go back to school.
You have to go to school. It's the law.
You didn't let me finish. She doesn't think I need to go back to school shopping.
That should be a law. Go to Old Navy. You'll be voted best dressed before school even starts.
Old Navy?
Yes, right now, kids' clothes are up to 60% off.
60% off?
Yeah, the hallway will be your runway. They have awesome graphic tees, colorful active gear, and jeans start at just $10.
Now you're talking. Thank you.
Don't thank me. Thank Old Navy. Valid 7/28 to 9/2. Select styles only. Fashion emergency hotline.
Help! My mom doesn't think I need to go back to school.
You have to go to school. It's the law.
You didn't let me finish. She doesn't think I need to go back to school shopping.
That should be a law. Go to Old Navy. You'll be voted best dressed before school even starts.
Old Navy?
Yes, right now, kids' clothes are up to 60% off.
60% off?
Yeah, the hallway will be your runway. They have awesome graphic tees, colorful active gear, and jeans start at just $10.
Now you're talking. Thank you.
Don't thank me. Thank Old Navy. Valid 7/28 to 9/2. Select styles only.